Welcome back to Fight News Now. I'm John Pollock, and the UFC makes their debut in Bangor, Maine this Saturday night, and we welcome in our analysts John Ramdian and Robin Black for another edition of 3 Rounds.
August is loaded with UFC action. They're trying to build the brand globally. We get 2 cards on the same day. One in Macau, Michael Bisping, Cung Le. Just an outstanding main event. Michael Bisping, for some reason, doesn't get the love. You talk to a lot of professional mixed martial artists, guys that are fighting at the highest level, they get it. They know that Michael Bisping is one of the most talented fighters in mixed martial arts, definitely in the 185-pound division. Cung Le is just one of these exciting fighters. He's got that kickboxing background, but use that kickboxing background. He built with his wrestling ability. So he uses his wrestling to keep the fight standing and give people the show they want to see. Spinning kicks all night long, and people are usually thrilled by that.
For sure. Cung Le started out in Sanshao, which has throws and wrestling combined with that high-kicking, dynamic action kind of style. This is a great fight. Very different fighters. Michael Bisping is a terrible out any night. Okay, you might be able to beat Michael if you just find a way. Maybe. Only the best usually beat him, but it's going to be a miserable night for you. And he's a really interesting one, too. We're fans of his. Canadians seem to like him. Americans, they're not all that sure on him. But we ran into him at the airport in Quebec City, and we don't know. You've interviewed him a number of times. I didn't know him. I just went up and said, thank you for the great fights. And the look on his face when he started talking, he's like, I wanted to make this one great, mate. This guy just wanted to hold me down. The passion and the anger in him that he wasn't able to put on an exciting, fall down, smashing each other, crazy kind of fight. The anger in the man that he wasn't able to do that was just kind of really inspiring and interesting.
Well, it takes 2 to tango, and Tim Kennedy, you can say what you want about Tim Kennedy. He knows how to win fights. He's a smart fighter. And sure, he could have been in a brawl with Michael Bisping, but why play that game? I can play this game and get the victory and slowly inch my way up the middleweight ranks. Michael Bisping, yes, he wants to move up the ranks too, but he wants to make sure that fans get their money's worth. And I think he'll be out to prove something in this fight with Cung Le. And I have a feeling fight of the night will happen in the main event. It's
outstanding. I mean, we go back. Cung Le's on a 2-fight winning streak. He's older now, so he can't fight as frequently. But you remember him clean, taking care of Rich Franklin in the first round. Just beautiful work there. He's going to look to do that with Bisping. If you look back, the last time somebody really got the better of him was Vanderlei. Interestingly enough, who did it with a game plan. Vanderlei was like, I'm going to back, I'm going to back, I'm going to back, I'm going to back. Get him committing, almost attacking Vanderlei like against him, and then planted and through. Bisping doesn't go back. They don't do that where he comes from, so they're going to come and meet in the middle. It's going to be exciting.
The co-feature, Tyron Woodley taking on Dong Hyun Kim in an outstanding fight. Tyron Woodley, you look at that fight with Rory McDonald, it's not really what you'd expect from this guy. When you see his other fights, his previous fights, you know what he's capable of. Coming off a loss like that, mentally, where do you think he'll be in this fight with the South Korean?
I think that's the biggest question. Some guys go, it didn't go well, and they kind of take this double-down mentality where a guy's at the roulette wheel and they lose 1,000, they're like, well, I better bet 2,000. What you got to do for these men who kind of aren't able to pull the trigger is fix that issue. And whether that is some time on a couch, that is just training harder than ever before, that is dealing with why you failed that night, that's something you have to do. You can't just go, next time will be different, because next time might not be different. But Tyron Woodley is a killer. He's fantastic. He's exciting. He's just such an outstanding fighter. You want to watch him fight. When he's using that blitz to cover range, you're in a lot of trouble. But Dong Hyun Kim, this guy's only lost twice ever to a natural-born killer who flying double-kneed him in the face. That's just going to happen sometimes, right? And Damian Maia, who threw him and it damaged him on the throw, good clean win. But, an odd one. That's it. Nobody else beats this guy. He is the most underrated fighter in all the world, and he is outstanding. His left hand is unbelievable.
And not just that, he's just one of these mentally strong guys. You see it every time he steps foot in the cage.
Yeah, and the question of the night will be, does Tyron Woodley have that mentality? And realistically, Rory beat him by managing that range in between the black track near the cage and the cage, never committing all the way in. And Woodley's really good at selling you the takedown and drilling the right hand, just 2 good fundamental skills. And Rory wouldn't play that. I think Dong Hyun Kim, he can grind you. He's got vicious judo. He's got beautiful left hand, and he's mentally tough. I don't know if he plays a patient game, so I don't know if this one goes all the way. This will be outstanding. Those 2 fights are just unbelievable.
A couple of other fights that are happening on the same night in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the main event. Ben Henderson taking on Rafael dos Anjos, an outstanding matchup at 155 pounds. The co-feature, I love this. Jordan Meehan taking on Mike Pyle. And we were talking about this matchup. I didn't particularly like the fight with Jordan Meehan and Brandon Thatch because I think these guys are the future of welterweight. I want to see these guys fight down the road for the title.
So who did you say would be a good matchup?
I said I thought it made sense for Jordan Meehan to fight Mike Pyle. And guess what? It's happening. And I really love this fight because even though Jordan Meehan's only 24 years of age, he has almost as much experience as Mike Pyle, who's 36 or 38, and just an outstanding, intelligent fighter who is really weak in no area.
Yeah, these two fights for just technical matchups to see thrilling combat, guaranteed for sure. But the storylines are very interesting. Ben Henderson is always that guy that if you don't beat me, you are not going to be top 5. And each of these fights, he's fighting a fight that says, I belong at the top. I'm getting my way back there. I don't care if Pettis armbarred me and almost kicked my liver outside of the cage. 4 great fights spread across the globe.
So good. Any one of these could produce fight of the night, and I have a feeling it will be one of the main events, John.
All right, thank you very much, guys. And for a complete wrap-up of this Saturday's card, be sure to catch John and Robin this Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern for the expanded 5 rounds on Monday night. We'll take a timeout, and we're coming back with more as Priscilla Caripan gets you set for the latest Expendables film, and we'll pass along another viral video.
Part of our crew, and it's a